Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Am I the Asshole? If you're a fan of Reddit stories, it would be a huge help to the channel if you could like or subscribe. Now, let's dive into our first story. Am I the asshole for telling my little sister she's insane for taking the door off of her daughter's bedroom door as punishment? I, 34 female, told my little sister, 32 female, that she was turning into our mentally unstable mother and was ruining her relationship with her daughter, Sydney, 12 years, just like our mother did with us. For context, Sydney is a really good girl. She is homeschooled, very sheltered, heavily involved in Girl Scouts, etc. My sister controls literally every aspect of her life. Sydney has been acting out lately, saying no to chores and refusing to cooperate. Something I think is pretty normal for this age. I have 4 kids, 3 of which have gone through puberty. It's obvious to me Sydney is acting out as a way to establish some independence and doesn't have the tools to be able to express this need to my sister. Defiance is obviously something that needs to be addressed, but I think my sister would have a much better outcome with a compassionate conversation with Sydney. I know it's not my place, but I believe with my whole heart that it's time for her to let Sydney know she is so proud of her and trusts her to do her best to make good choices, and is going to be giving her more freedoms to positively reinforce her good choices, not the opposite. Also, 2 days after this whole ordeal, Sydney started her first period, so I know this was all likely a hormonal surge and should have been met with compassion, not anger and punishment. Anyway, Sydney didn't want to go to Girl Scouts. She had to compete against the other girls, sprinting, I think, for a badge, and was too embarrassed at the thought of losing, so she flat out refused to go. My sister was so upset with her. She didn't ask her why she didn't want to go. She just became really heated, and things somehow escalated to the point where my sister took away all of Sydney's privileges, electronics, phone, even books, and told her she was only allowed to leave her bedroom to go to the bathroom. The next day, when my sister was bringing Sydney her lunch, she caught her reading, and my sister lost her mind. She threw Sydney's lunch on her bed and said the next step is calling the police. And trust me, your treatment here is far better than treatment you'll receive in jail. Sydney responded through tears, "Okay, call them." So my sister walked away while pretending to call the police. When she came back, she removed Sydney's door from her bedroom and said that the police told her to do that first, and the next step was jail. I honestly feel like this is borderline abusive. My sister and I have always been very close and promised to let each other know if we were turning into our mom. I did that, and now she's not talking to me. Am I the asshole? Should I just let her parent the way she sees fit, even if it's going to destroy her relationship with her kids and with me? First off, you're not the bad guy for stepping in. You're just waving the red flag before your sister dives headfirst into the Mom of the Year mistakes you two survived. Taking the door off, pretending to call the cops, that's not discipline, that's emotional warfare, and Sydney's stuck in the trenches. Look, kids acting out at 12 is like water being wet. It's normal. The whole door removal thing? Yeah, that's only going to breed resentment and push Sydney further away, especially when what she probably needs is a conversation, not a prison break scenario. You're right to call your sister out before she takes the express train to our unstable mother's neighborhood. Your sister needs to hear that compassion trumps control every time. You're just trying to stop her from setting Sydney up with the same emotional baggage you both carry, not the asshole. My parents used to pretend to call the cops on me when I'd cry. I cried a lot because my dad is a psycho-alcoholic, and I never really thought of it as abnormal until this very moment. Yikes. It's not borderline abusive, it is abusive. She is isolating Sydney, invading her privacy deeply, and also lying about the police. I would call CPS and the police to ask for a wellness check or community service officer visit. Seconding this, taking her door away is bad enough, but lying about calling the cops on her child and saying the cops told her to do that, and that lying that she had the potential to be sent to jail over this, absolutely abusive. Crazy mother, hope that kid gets out of that house. Not the asshole. Your sister's behavior towards Sydney is deeply concerning and potentially harmful. Her actions appear to be driven by unresolved trauma from her childhood, rather than a genuine desire to help Sydney. I understand you want to respect your sister's autonomy as a parent, while also protecting your niece. If you believe Sydney's well-being is at risk, it might be necessary to involve external resources, such as a therapist. If your sister isn't talking to you, try texting her something like, "I'm truly concerned about Sydney and you. I know you're doing your best, but I'm worried that some of your actions might be hurting her more than helping her. Would you be open to talking? I just want to find the best solution for both you and Sydney. I wish you the best. I hope she comes around." Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.